finally we have a good news for Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie. We're not gonna waste any more time. We finally have screenplay / beginning, story, and a date for filming as well. Yes, it's pretty huge and it is official. Let's just jump into it. To start off, we know Jason Blum or Blumhouse Production is taking care of Five Nights at Freddy's movie alongside Scott Cawthon. The franchise is indeed owned by Scott Cawthon, so his say matters the most specifically. However, in this case, few days ago, actually a week or two ago, we learned a sad news that Five Nights at Freddy's movie got delayed again. Some people said, oh, the filming has been started and the story has been complete. We know that Scott Cawthon has been working incredibly hard with a lot of writers, a lot of talented people behind the scenes for drafts and screenplays and whatnot, and none of it was working. Today on Reddit, Scott Cawthon posted a post about FNAF movie. He said, bad news about FNAF movie, sad face. Before we get to the bad news concerning the state of Five Nights at Freddy's movie, I wanted to share a brief history of the FNAF screenplay. It's been a long road, so let's take a look at some of the screenplays that have come and gone over the years in no particular order, or feel free to skip to the end real quick to see the bad news and then come back to enjoy the list. Some of these came from big studios, some from big directors, and some from me, and some from other hired writers. I gave screenplays a name and I'll include a brief synopsis as well as what ultimately led to each screenplay being rejected. Now there are a lot of screenplays, you can read them. I'll put the link in the description. We have the F screenplay, Teenager breaking into Freddy, Plushies Take Manhattan. It is literally Plushies Took Manhattan. We got Random Charlie and friends sneaking into Freddy's after hour to retrieve a lost toy. We got Silver Eyes from the books, obviously. We got The Pawn Shop. Yep, a boy and his animatronic. We got Cassidy. This one took my interest, but he even admitted that this was the most accurate screenplay. Then we had The Misfit Kid. Then we had The Ghost Trackers. That was one interesting as well. And then we had Insane Screenplay, which was also a Ghost Tracker variation, but it was all over the place. But it had fun animatronics and ball pit tunnels and a Marinette Out for Revenge. That was a clean one. However, the final one is called The Mike Screenplay. The basic setup is, this makes sense. Why didn't I think of this before? The problems here, actually, this is a good mix. It has the best pieces from all the previous screenplays because they wrote so much screenplays. They must have experience now. Not really any problems here. All the right characters, all the right motivations, all the right stakes. And verdict, yeah, we are going with this one. It is fun, it is scary, and it has a great central story. As you can see, nothing was given away for the Mike screenplay other than the name Mike. So now, on to the bad news. Alright, so on to the bad news. The bad news is that there won't be any more screenplays to add to the list since we are officially making the Mike screenplay. That was the bad news. We're not gonna see any more screenplays because this is the official and final one. And finally, the big news, the filming starts in spring, which means early 2021. I legit almost died of sadness and disappointment when I saw bad news about FNAF movie, but then when I read through it and I came to the end, I was like, okay Scott, you're doing it again. So you see how he gave hints in the previous screenplays that he shared here with many story hints that he'll use in the Mike screenplay, but when it comes to the actual screenplay that he'll use, nothing was given away other than the name, which was called Mike. So now we know that he said that it has a great central story, so now we know that Mike will be the center focus for this movie that they're working on. It is very interesting that none of these screenplays that he shared, William, who is the main villain of the franchise, he wasn't even mentioned anywhere. So we know somehow books will come into play, some of the novels will come into play, and most importantly, games are indeed the focus. He's trying to find the balance, but he's also want to take so much from the games as well, which to me personally, that's amazing. But I'm okay with any direction this franchise goes. If they want to go for complete games, complete books, completely different direction, I will understand because I need it. To recap, we got Mike screenplay as the final screenplay for FNAF movie, the first ever FNAF movie, obviously. It is fun, it's gonna be scary, and it has a great central story. They got the right characters for this one, and the motivation and the stakes are up there. So hopefully, if my calculations are correct, we're gonna start from FNAF 4, see what's popping there. We might have back and forth between Five Nights at Freddy's 4 and Sister Location from games, obviously. Not sure about the books, but do let me know, where do you think this story is gonna pick from the games and books. And now that the filming is gonna start officially, we can fairly expect this movie either in 2022, early 2022, or late 2021. Scott might not give away too much from now until the release of the movie, but Jason and other people are working, they might. So we're just gonna have to poke them until they pop out. That sounds wrong, but you get my point. We love Five Nights at Freddy's and we want this movie to succeed. Please be a billion-dollar franchise with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies. I'm dreaming too much at this point.